Hey Gerald, thanks for coming on the show today. So it is episode number 22 of the PT Central podcast, Getting Real with Jazz and Nick. So we have Gerald, our lovely guest speaker, again here today, and he has some great insight for personal trainers that are up and coming and wanting to upskill. He is talking to us about what do you do after your PT diploma, your certificate, your qualification, after you've done that course, whether you've done a short 6-week course, 6-month, 12-month course, what do you do after that? So kick it away, Gerald, and let us know what we should do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with personal training qualification, it depends on what area you really want to go into and what really interests you, and whether it's nutrition, whether you're into, if you like, functional type training, sort of, if you want to work close to physiotherapists, or strength and conditioning. So there's lots of different options out there, and obviously depending on which direction you want to go in, there are your different gurus out there as well who if you like, specialize in these different areas. So just to mention a few, I'm sure you guys probably heard of them: Paul Chek, Charles Poliquin. These guys are some of the biggest thought leaders, and I think it is worthwhile doing their qualification, because when you do the level 6, it can be quite big. Or if you've done a degree, you might not get the practical application of how to actually train and how to get hands-on and help your clients to the fullest, really.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, because a lot of uni courses are just theories and studies, and you're saying that definitely need to do other courses, even if you have done a uni bachelor or whatever, to keep going with that as well.
Yeah, to expand on it. And nothing makes up for, I think, like practical experience, over a uni degree. Even with my accounting degree, it was like totally different in the the actual hands-on world to what I learned in my studies.
I guess even though you would have done work experience and stuff, until you actually got in the workforce, were you a bit shocked, or how did you react?
I was like, what? This has nothing to do with what I just studied. It was completely different. So, but I guess upskilling allows you then to work on different price ranges for your services too then, Gerald, if you have a specialty or something like that.
Yeah, so definitely. So if you're going to specialize in something like rehabilitation, something like that, obviously it allows you to work closely with physiotherapists, but you can definitely charge more money if you're more skilled. And but then it's a case of, obviously, it's a bit like what we was talking about last week. Again, you can charge more money, but then it's also knowing how to market yourself with those new skills as well. But I think the key thing is it keeps it interesting as well, because I do see a lot of personal trainers who have the diploma and they just see clients year in, year out, and so on, and you get one shot at this career, and it keeps it interesting to sort of keep learning and to stay on top of your game, really. And it's a pride thing. It's definitely a pride thing to, why not try to be the best, why not try to better yourself. And as I say, there are these top guys out there, and they all have these different philosophies. And one guy, have you guys heard of Paul Chek? Do you guys know much about him?
I've heard of him, but I don't know personally much about him.
Yeah.
Paul Chek, I'd always say to people that whoever you do, just cherry pick some of their best things, because I do know a lot of people who've done some of, say, Paul Chek's courses, and he does tend to, he's very clever. What he'll tend to do is he'll tend to discredit a lot of people to, it's classic speech. If you read a lot of stuff on how to deliver presentations, they say you need to make a villain. And then once you've actually made a villain, you then need to provide a hero when you're giving a presentation. He does that very well. So he'll be quite clever in the sense that he'll say something in the line, something like, when physiotherapists do X, Y, and Z, they don't check for this. And I'm not saying physiotherapists aren't good, but he kind of villainizes them, and then he'll kind of say, this is what I do, sort of thing. So he's very good at that, and you find that a lot of personal trainers that have done these courses, they tend to reject anything that hasn't come from Paul Chek. They kind of they have their mind enslaved. So again, I'm just saying an observation, something that I've observed. However, the knowledge that he has is very good, and it has allowed a lot of his trainers who train with him to charge a lot of money. And come back to what your original question was.
So what sort of advice does what sort of advice does he offer then? Like, what sort of courses, like, specifically does he do?
Yeah, so he's got his own diploma, so he's got his what he calls these prerequisite courses. So there's a check exercise coach, and there's about 5 levels: level 1, level 2, 3 and 4. And to give him credit, I mean, even his most basic course has a lot of knowledge. I mean, it's still like, wow. And it's one of his most basic courses. So it's a bit of a cash cow the way it works. You've got to do this prerequisite, this prerequisite.
Smart.
And then you go and do the exercise coach. But as you do them, you will learn quite a lot from going through the process of doing his courses. I think another thing I want to add as well is, so it's no good question to know how it works. And it's a lot of money as well. I mean, he recommends that you do like one of these courses a year, and they are very, very detailed. I think where his courses come into, or any of these courses, Charles Poliquin or whoever you want to go to, I think where they're most effective, it depends on you as a personal trainer. I mean, if you're very busy, you may not have time to really do the 5-10 hours a week of reading that you need to do to kind of keep up to date and read, Shirley Sharman and all these other top authors. So it can fill a gap in the case of, you go on these courses, you take 3 days out, and then boom, you've done you're upskilled a little bit. Yeah. But at the same time, if you do have more time in your hands and you can do it, you may find there are enough good books out there and enough really skilled authors who share their techniques, and you may want to go in that direction and actually read. There's loads of books out there.
Yeah,
that may be easier for you.
Yeah, that was one of my next questions. If I can't afford a big course, what's some other avenues I can go to? So you're talking like books, and there's lots of great podcasts out there too, and webinars, and it's just social media is great too. You've just got to network with the right people in the industry that have that wealth of knowledge too, and so that's just what we're trying to provide as well. Yeah.
Definitely. So you just named it. I mean, books, podcasts, and we have lots of resources. There's even web pages you can go to as well, and great resources on there.
Yeah. It's all, and I guess what other reasons could you give? To why should a personal trainer upskill and take it further? They know how to write a session. They know how to make their clients love coming. They know how to get results. What are some other reasons you should give for a person to upskill?
Good question. We sort of spoke about working with physiotherapists already, and we also talked about obviously personal side and so on. But I think another reason as well is maybe just to develop a new skill. So it might be nutrition. It might be another avenue which you can go into if you upskill, and then you can help your clients in a different way, or you can sort of effectively have a different market which you can tap into as well. So that's a really strong reason to sort of upskill, I think as well, the longer you do it as well, like when you're in your first year, your main focus may be just to get your business up and running. You may really focus on your marketing and stuff. But once you're past that first year, second year passes, the third year passes, fourth year passes, and so on. What you're into changes as well.
Your passion.
Your passions start to change, and you'll naturally want to migrate towards different directions, and it's just a case of knowing what's out there. For myself, when I got into my first year of personal training, I was lucky enough to work for a company where they were very, very keen to lead you into doing some of these courses. So I was exposed to all of these and stuff. I didn't do any of the. Well, actually, I did one of the courses in my first year. But it wasn't until maybe 4 or 5 years later that I finally decided to go and actually do some of these courses, and I really took that time out to look into these guys and to find out what they stand for, what the benefits are going to be, rather than just kind of rushing in on things. So I think it's important to get that business up and running, and then, as I say, look into these courses at a later stage. But maybe in your first year, maybe just look to do one.
I find for myself, and I know Jazz definitely as well, we found personal development, like even not just for personal trainers, but just for mindset and motivation. Other businesses, what are other businesses doing? How do other businesses stay strong and stay in the game has been key. Like if you could do even something every day just to keep your mindset
small,
your mindset and vision. Do you have like a personal development kind of thing that you do every day, Gerald or Jazz?
Well, I will listen to podcasts, or I'll listen to like Tony Robbins, or just something like that, even if it's in the car on the way, or on the way to work, or while I'm feeding the baby, So that's how I keep it pretty simple. Double using my time, I guess. Being efficient.
I love if you find some really good music too that can motivate you and uplift you and inspire you too. So that's another way. Sorry, Gerald, what were you going to say?
No, I'm with Jazz. I mean, there's a lot of motivational speakers. Tony Robbins is good. Susan Jeffers, Dale Carnegie. There's a few guys. I'm always on. I tend to go on social media, like maybe like for 30 minutes a day, going into different groups. So you've got groups on LinkedIn, you've got groups on Facebook, groups on Google Plus. So I'll just sort of scroll through and sort of make a comment on in these various different groups. So you're always picking up things. If you're going on someone's blog and you're like, oh, that's a good idea. But it just keeps you abreast of what's going on, what the community, if you like, at large are sort of doing, and
keeps you fresh.
You definitely in that way.
Definitely.
And keeps you being able to give like the new information out, and keeps your skills up to date, able to provide clients with so much more in their sessions too, I think.
And it makes
you definitely do. You definitely do. It's like
It's alright. I love the saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. So if we're not doing something each day to invest in ourselves, invest in our clients, to better ourselves, make ourselves happier, like we're going the other way. And I thought that was a really, really interesting concept of putting it. And I mean, if you're stale, if you're just staying the same and you're stagnant, well, no one loves stagnant water. Like, how bad does that smell? When water's just been sitting in that same pool for ages, not doing anyone good. And like a lukewarm coffee, no one likes a lukewarm coffee. It's either hot or it's either cold. I much prefer my coffee hot. So I think there's some really good analogies too that we can keep coming back to in terms of personal development and growing and becoming better. It's always.
I think as well, your clients they buy into it as well. You're going on a course, and perhaps you say to your client, "Oh, I can't do next week Saturday or next week Monday, whatever. I'm on a course." So they'll ask you a question. "Oh, what course you on?" And they like that. They like to know. They've been training you for a year. You go on a course. You keep yourself up to date. I'm going on one not next week, the week after that. So when I mention to my clients, I've got to take this day off. I really see their interest. They always ask the question, "Oh, what are you doing?" Blah blah blah. And obviously, it's not the first time. There's of course. Someone last year, the year before that, and so on. So, clients, they buy into that. They like to see that you're
upskilling,
update, and if you do go on a course, definitely tell your clients. Definitely tell your clients they'll buy into it, and they'll buy into you. They'll believe in you a little bit more. And they can't wait as well. You come back from a course, you've got a new piece of equipment which you're deciding to use, or a new skill. You're gonna straight away try these to try them. They're happy. They want to get results, and it keeps it fresh. Keeps it fresh for you. Keeps it fresh for your clients. And it's all about results. It's a results game, isn't it? What we're in. So the more skills you have, the better you can serve your clients. I mean, there was an occasion a few years ago when I looked back at, I was looking for something. I was going to write a program, and I was looking for, I think, the last week's program which I wrote for a client, and I stumbled upon a program which I may have written 2 years ago or 3 years ago or something like that. And I remember looking at it thinking, oh my God, why did I write this?
I do that.
Now, obviously, at any point in life, you can only write a program to the best of your knowledge of that particular time. There's nothing wrong with what I wrote, because at the end of the day, they were better off with that program than probably without my assistance.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
Again, it's just that journey that you go on, and I guess it's nice to look back and see that personal growth that you've had, and it just goes back to what we said at the beginning. You know, do you a personal trainer, take your profession seriously, be the best, try to be the best, or the best that you can be.
Yeah, it's a competitive game.
Where that journey's going to take you.
Yeah, and it's competitive, but more than that too. At the end of the day, we're here to help our clients, and the fitness industry and the world is so fast changing, it's ever changing, so we have to change with that to be able to help our clients to the best too. There's always new ways, better ways coming around as well that we've got to stay up to date with. But it's great to be in this industry because I'm never bored. There's always something new to learn, a new course. I'm going away a few this year that I've got planned, and I'm so excited too.
Right.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right.
Cool.
Well, you talk about new things. Fitness apps is like quite a big thing now, as well as snaps and so on. So yeah, it's a lot to keep on top of. But yeah, I mean, I try to do one course a year. That's the goal, sort of thing. And you know, as I say, the busier you get, it's harder to keep up to date with reading and so on. So it can be a lot more easy just to do that all in one go.
Yeah, that's right. I think for some people, you know, going away for a couple of days is definitely easier than trying to commit some little bit of time each day to learning something. And yeah, you're definitely right with that, because the busier you do get, the harder it is to maintain that sort of thing as well.
You've got to get your priorities right, I guess. Do the most important things in the first part of your day, like your exercise. If I didn't do exercise in the morning, I wouldn't fit it in. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
But actually, there was one point I did actually forget to mention as well, because you asked me earlier what are the other benefits as well.
Yeah.
So for any personal trainer, I guess that's to upskilling. And I guess to any personal trainer that's coming in, who's new and who's watching this and thinking, why would I do this for? I guess if you've got aspirations to build a business, like what you guys have got, a business that extends beyond yourself, you're going to head up this team. Again, you want to be the most knowledgeable in your team, and you want to be the person who's going to be training that team and passing that knowledge on, and so on. So that's also a huge advantage as well from a business point of view. You can train and develop that team, and yeah, it's just a way to, I guess, build a culture within your company of education. That's one thing with personal trainers. On some level, it's not just about the money. We always want to develop, we always want to learn. So if you're heading that team up, if that's your goal, you're watching this, that's your goal to have a team, then again, you know, you need to be ahead of the game as well in that respect. So
definitely.
Benefit.
Yeah. Anything else to add there before we wrap up?
Just, I think that like the more courses and stuff that your team does, the better your business becomes too. So it's it's win-win for everyone. The clients are getting better results, your staff are more educated, more experienced, better at what they do, then obviously it's going to be better for the business, it's going to bring in more people. So I think it's, you know, from every angle, it's really ideal for people to upskill and encourage that within a business as well.
Yeah, and in Australia, I'm not sure what it is in the UK, but we have to get 20 CEC points every 2 years to have our licensing, our Fitness Australia licensing up to date. So they really, and you get those CEC points from going to courses or events and other things like that. Yeah.
We have something similar in the UK, however, it's really badly regulated, because if you don't actually do it, they're not going to turn down your money. They're going to take your renewal. So so you know, I mean, that's another topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Like governing bodies and stuff.
Yeah,
definitely, for sure. All right,
cool. Well, thank you so much for your time, Gerald, and we'll be soon to hear from you soon. So if you want any more help or anything, or more motivation, more insight into anything that you guys can do, head to www.ptcentral.net.au and make sure that you share the website and the Facebook page with all of your personal trainer friends as well.
And to visit Gerald's website?
Oh yeah, what's your website, Gerald?
Personal trainer, City of London, .co.uk.
Yep, awesome. Cool.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, bye.